The moonless night left Adya in pitch black, and the only light was flames flickering in the campfire. Xanderly watched the amber glow dance across her sister's sleeping faces. Looking to her left, she studied Koda's sleeping face, the way he was lying. His blonde waves covered half his face. Very carefully, so she would not wake the sleeping dragon, Xanderly moved his hair out of his face. Placing her hand back in her lap, she took a deep breath and thought, how can this beautiful man turn into such a stunning and noble creature? How did my life take this turn? Just 3 weeks ago, I answered the door to the police officer, letting me know that the woman that had raised me was killed in a gang shooting in the hospital. Shortly after her funeral, I started having strange dreams, and this crazy man that turned out to be my uncle wanted to kill me. I do not know how it happened, but I turned into a tiger. I wonder if that was a one-time thing, or can I do it at will? When I thought I was finally safe, I found out that Morgana was the true enemy. Morgana wanted me to hate my sisters, whom I had just found out I had. I learned from Hades and Apollo that my sisters were coming for me, but it seemed like days and no one showed. So, when I had my chance, I ran from the small hut in the desiccated woods. That is when I saw the most breathtaking sight. An ocean blue dragon stood in the clearing. A warmth spread throughout my body when he spoke to me. I knew I was safe with him. It felt like coming home. Xanderly heard a whimper pulling her out of her thoughts, and she looked at Temperance. She noticed that her sister had a look of pain on her beautiful face, and she was crying in her sleep. Just as she was about to get up and wake her, she watched as Zeke wrapped his arm around her waist and pulled her tight against him. Xanderly watched with amazement. Once her sister was in the arms of her mate, all the distress left her body, leaving her face soft and lax. Not wanting to go to sleep just yet, she was just a little scared that Morgana could still mess with her dreams, so she watched the others while they slept. Aislinn slept in Anton's arms while she used him as a pillow. Xanderly smiled as she watched how perfectly the moonlight kissed Anton and Aislinn as they slept. Anton's silver hair almost glowed with the flicker of the campfire. Moving quietly, she slid just an inch closer to look upon her sister's beautiful face and was met with a pair of orange and red eyes. Feeling sheepish, she blushed and slid back while softly muttering, I am sorry for waking you. With a slight nod, Anton closed his eyes and went back to sleep. Jazz and Jewel were the only dragons sleeping in their dragon form. They slept close enough to each other that their necks were intertwined. Looking up over her shoulder, she studied her brother. She had to squint her eyes to make him out. He blended into the night perfectly. When he tipped his head and spoke to her, she jumped. You should be sleeping, little sister. Placing a hand on her heart, trying to catch her breath, she looked up at him and said, I am afraid to sleep. Morgana has messed with my dreams one too many times. What if she can still mess with them? Malik's heart broke for his sister, knowing how that type of fear could root into the depths of the heart. Malik opened his wings and gave them the slightest flutter, so he gained just enough air to land softly beside her. The giant bird lowered his head so he could look Xanderly in the eyes. He stretched his neck just enough to rub his head on her cheek. When he pulled back, he tipped his head and just looked at her, trying to figure out what to say. Xanderly lifted her hand and softly ran it down the soft feathers on his back, causing Malik to lean into her touch.